going to just share my screen. Okay, great. So today we're doing something kind of new, actually. We're going to be learning some coding. And at the end of the class, we'll be making a snowflake. So that'll be fun. Good for the holiday season. So, okay. Let's actually get signed into Tinkercad. Okay, right. So if we don't remember, let's just do a quick refresher. We are going to go to tinkercad.com. We are going to go to tinkercad.com and we are going to sign in, and we're going to click Students Join Your Class. So your class code, I'm just going to put in the chat box. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I just put the class code in the chat box. So if you have a question throughout this, please put it in the chat box or unmute yourself and ask. Either way works great.
I saw a new thing on the other, like the 3D coding. There was something like notes and it just popped up.
I think my audio is cutting out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the meet and I'll come right back. Okay, 1 second.
Oh, well, we could hear him. I don't know why he wanted to leave. But what were you saying, Emma? There was something else?
So in the 3D designing, there was something like that new that just popped up, something like notes.
Oh, like you could make notes on your design, maybe?
Yeah, and it wasn't there like last week or anything.
Okay, so Aditya, Emma was just here. I'm making you co-host again. Emma was just saying that she saw something new on Tinkercad. It's called Notes.
It's called Notes.
Wondering what that was about.
Let's see. I have not seen that before.
She said it was new and she hadn't seen it before.
That was interesting. Let's see what that is. Okay, so you're going to put in the class code and you're going to click join. You're going to click join with nickname, and your nickname is going to be your first name in lowercase initials. So for me, it would be Aditya like this. Let me know if it's not showing up for you, and I will just add you to the classroom. Notes. Okay. So, yep, we have a couple of people signing in, I can see. 2 minutes ago, nice. I'll wait a couple of seconds, I'll wait a minute or so, and let you guys sign in. What is this about notes? Roblox. Either way, if I want to draw on something, I can, on Zoom, there's a way to just draw on the screen on Zoom. So, that is interesting, though. Who said that they saw something about notes? That's...
I did.
Where is it?
It's next to
oh, there it is.
ruler.
There it is. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Cool. Yeah, it wouldn't show up on your print or anything, but that is really interesting. Cool. Nice. Tinkercad is always coming up with new stuff.
What would you use that for?
For printing, I don't think it would have anything useful, but this would be good, for example, if you wanted to if you were making some very complex object or something, and you wanted to show that this cube is for, it's a pin, then you could label it like this.
Your screen is kind of frozen.
Yeah, DJ, we're just, oh, okay, now it's finally loading. I see.
Okay, can you see the thing moving?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay. So, let me try something. Okay, yeah, okay, I see it's kind of slow. Yeah, okay. So I'll just move my mouse slower so you guys can see what I'm doing. But yeah, for printing, I don't think this would be a huge something new, because you wouldn't be able to actually print out the note. But it would definitely be cool for labeling if you had more intricate designs. And it's also good for this actually. If remember when we made our Lego guys, we had difficulties with like what dimensions to put. I could label it like 25. Right? If I wanted to go like this, then at all times you guys could see what dimensions it is. That's actually interesting. Nice. Cool.
Cool.
Okay. Anyway. Okay, so I'm assuming we're all signed in. Is anybody having trouble with getting signed in? Okay, cool. So what we're going to do today is instead of clicking create new design, we are going to click code blocks here on the left side. So there should be a list here, like 3D designs, circuits, code blocks. So we're going to click code blocks. And then this should all be blank because you guys haven't made any coding stuff yet. But we're going to click create new code block. Should load up a screen like this. And we're going to just click new design. Okay, is everyone here? All good?
What do we do after we click code blocks?
So after you click code blocks, you're going to click create new code block, this blue button over here. And then this whole area should be blank because you guys don't have any code blocks yet. But you're going to click this blue button that says new design. Okay, so do we all have something that looks like this? Yep, good. Okay, so now that I have accidentally closed out my window, I'm just going to open up something. Okay. Okay. So putting it together. Okay. Now, who here has done anything like coding? I know a couple of you guys mentioned girls who code, right? So you guys have done some coding? You guys have some idea? Nice, nice, nice. Okay, cool. Okay, so this should be good for everybody then. So we'll move a little bit faster then, if you guys are all good with this. Okay. So so you'll notice that this is a lot like Scratch. So on the yeah. Okay. So on the left side here, we have these blue blocks, and what they do is we'll add a new shape. So if I drag over this blue block that says box, I have a couple of options here. I can set the color. I can set the width and the length and the height of every of the box, and we don't need to worry about the edge and edge steps. So let's see if I run through this code, what happens, right? So if we press this play button over here, it will run through our code. And so we have a simple code right now that just drops in a box. Okay, so now we have this. Now the thing is that these codes run in order, right? So we have this one, then if we drag over something new, that one will get added next. So if I make this, let's say 40, and this is going to be a much taller cylinder. Oh, right now, sorry, I forgot to mention, you guys don't need to follow along with this. You can just watch what I'm doing. And then later when we get to making the snowflake, you guys can actually follow along. So for now, you can just watch. So that's why I'm going just a little bit faster. Okay, so we have the cylinder here, right? That's going to be a little bit taller. Now, if I step through the code, what that means is it's going to run it one line at a time. So we're going to step first by making the box. Then we add a cylinder that's much taller. So by doing this, we can add in a whole bunch of different shapes. So okay, so this thing, yeah. So we can add, let's say, a half sphere. we can add a paraboloid, we can add all these different shapes, and they would all get added. Okay, so they're all the same size, so you can't tell that they're okay. Anyway, so in the chat. Yeah, okay, so I will help you guys with actually doing this in a minute. I'm just going over the concepts. Okay, so we have these blocks, right, that they'll add shapes. We also have these important ones that are purple, and what they do is they will do basically what they say, right? So we have one that will move shapes. So let's say I have a box. If you click this little arrow, you'll get more options. You'll be able to set like the size and everything. So we'll drag over a move block, and what that'll do is it'll move the object that's on top of it by however much we put here. Now,
so do we delete the one that we did right now?
Oh yeah, you don't have to worry about doing anything right now. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to kind of play around with this. You can just watch my screen. I'm just showing you how it works, and then you guys can do it in a minute. Okay. Okay. So this is kind of a new concept, but we're going to talk about something called dimensions. So what this is we have 3 directions that we can move things in, right? We have one direction that we call the X direction. So let's say I'm going to move this in the X direction. So that is the X direction. See? So it's moving in the X direction. We also have the Y direction, which moves like forward and backward almost. So if I go like this, then so we have this is the X, this is the Y direction. And finally, we have the Z direction, which goes up and down. So if I look at it from this angle, you can see that the box moves up and down. Okay, so how do we actually do this then? Class code, one second. Oh, okay, thank you, Patrick. Okay, so, okay, let's kind of back up a little bit. Okay. Okay. So to actually get a shape onto this box, what we have to do is we have to drag over one of these blocks on the left side. So you can see that they all have like little indents and little things sticking out. They're almost like puzzle pieces. So they fit together like puzzle pieces. So let's see, we drag over this block, right? And it says add cube, like a box. And now this thing has this little thing like sticking out almost, right? This thing sticking out. So now something needs to fit under that. So what we do is we can drag over something new. And you see that this one has like a little divot in it. And this one has something sticking out. So that means that they can go together. So if you drag them close to each other, it will snap together and it'll make like a puzzle piece. So, okay, so that is how we can put these pieces together. So like I said, we have the move box, right? And this move command just moves the shape that's right above it, however much you tell it. So if I go like this, 10%. See, so what it does is it moves the block that's right above it. So the first step in this program is to add a cube. And then the next step is to add the cylinder. And the final step is to move the cylinder. So anyway, so we have the moving command. We also have 2 similar commands. We have a rotate command that this axis thing you don't really have to worry about right now because that takes some practice to know what kind of axis you're trying to rotate around. But the important thing is this number, which is the number of degrees. So, that example. So, if we start this program, we can see that the first step is to put in a cylinder. The next step is to add in the cube. And the final step is to rotate the cube. So you can see that the cube kind of rotated. The cube kind of rotated, right? So we have one more that's important like this. It's called the scale command. And what the scale command does is it makes something bigger or smaller. So I can make something twice the size it is now in the x direction, for example. So the first step is to bring in the cylinder, next step is to bring in the cube, and the last step is to make that cube bigger along the x direction. Okay, so we have these three commands here, these purple, move, rotate, and scale. We also have these blocks. So what I want you guys to try to do is take like 5 or 10 minutes and kind of mess around with these blocks and try to see what kind of designs you guys can come up with. And then we'll move on a little bit and start making our snowflake. Do you want to share your screen, Aaron? And I can see what's going on. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, here. Okay. Oh. Um. Wow. That. Okay. Um. That is new. I've never seen that before. Can you try maybe restarting your screen? Your browser. Actually, are you on your iPad or something? Or are you on your computer? Because I have not tried this on an iPad before, or like device, and I'm not sure how well it works. Yeah, Patrick. I see that like the screen is all yellow or something. But that's fine. What I'm thinking is that yeah, is there any chance you can get on a computer or something instead of like a device? Because a lot of devices don't necessarily have the software that they need to display that kind of screen. Yeah, yeah, I definitely I see that it's all
Computer right now.
okay. Um, yeah, maybe try what Patrick said. Do you want to try? Do you see how your screen is all yellow? I think that's a setting, right? It's like a night light setting or something. Maybe if you turn that off, that'll help. That has not happened to me before. Sorry, I was muted. I'll give you guys until 5 o'clock, so that's 5 more minutes. And until then, I want you guys to try to figure out the move, scale, and rotate command so that you guys can get a little bit more of a hang of it. And then after that, we will go into the final stuff that we need before we start making our snowflake. Okay, actually, if unless anybody is still trying to figure it out, we can move ahead. Is anybody having trouble with the add blocks and the move, scale, rotate commands? Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Ooh, cool. Oh, wow. You're really getting into the whole loops thing. Okay, yeah, nice. That looks cool. Nice. Yep. That's the cylinder. Nice. That looks really cool. Nice. You almost got an animation going. Nice. Good job. Okay, so we are actually going to learn about something new, and we're going to learn about variables. Has anybody here heard of variables before? Can you, oh, what is this? Oh, okay. Um, okay, yes. Has anybody heard of variables before? Good. Nice. Fiona, we got some. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly explain how it goes. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to start drawing on the screen. Okay, so the basic concept of a variable is that it's something that will hold another value. So let's think about it like this. Let's think about we have a box, and that box is called apples. So in that box, I'm going to put 5 apples. They're going to be blue apples, I think. So we have 5 apples here. Now, while we're going over this example, I'm going to be going over the code that goes with this. So to create the box called apples, we have a command called create variable. So I'm going to click on the drop-down menu, and I'm going to click rename variable, and I'm going to type in apples. So we have create variable apples, and inside that box, I'm going to put 5 apples. So I'm going to type in 5 here. And so this does this thing. So this does this. Create variable 5 apples. Okay, now let's say that instead of 5 apples, I wanted 2 apples in that box. So I'm going to have that same box called apples, and instead of that, I'm going to have 2 apples in the box instead of 5. So the code that goes with that is set item 2. So instead of item, I'm going to pick apples from the drop-down menu, and I'm going to set it to 2. So far we have these 2 commands. We have a create variables apples, and we have a set apples to something. Now we are going to have one more command that's important, and this is called the change by command. Okay, so we have one more called the change by command, and what this does is it's going to add or take away apples. So I'm going to have this box called apples, right? And inside that box, I have, let's say, 5 apples. What the change command does is it's going to add or take away apples. So let's say I want to add another apple to the box. And to do that, we have this change item by command. So it's going to be change item by 1, but it's going to be apples. It's going to change apples by 1. So we have these 3 commands here, right? We have a create variable apples, and what that does is it's going to create a box called apples, and it's going to put this number 5, that many apples in the box. What is that? Okay. We also have a set apples to command, and that doesn't care how many apples were in the box before, but it's going to make sure that that box now has 2 apples. Finally, we have the change apples by command, and what that does is it's going to add or take away 1. So another way that we can go with this change apples by command is instead of adding an apple, we can take away an apple. If I get rid of this apple here, that apple is no longer there. Well, to do that, I can do change apples by -1 instead of by 1. Okay. So we have these 2 commands. We have a create variable, we have a set variable, and we have a change by. Okay. Is there any confusion about this? Do you guys think you get it? Does it kind of make sense? Yeah. Okay, great. So I'm going to clear all drawings like this. Okay. And this. Okay. So we have the variable blocks. Now we also have this loop control box that you guys were playing around with a little bit before. So we have two things, right? We have this repeat loop, and what this does is it's literally just going to repeat the code that's inside of it, however many times you tell it. So I'm going to tell it to do this 3 times. So for example, what I can do is I can create a box, and then inside the loop, I can move it down and I can move it up, like we had seen earlier, right? So I'm going to move this up 20, and then I'm going to move it down 20. This should work, right? Yeah. So this is going to go 3 times. So let's step through the code and see how this goes. The first step is it's going to add a box. Then the next step is it's going to move that box up 20, like this. Then the next step is it's going to move it down 20. Then the next step, it's going to move it up, then down, then the last time up and down. And that's it. That's the rest of our code. So the repeat loop is kind of simple, but okay. But we have this other loop called count width. And what count width does is it creates its own variable. So remember, we had like that box called apples. That was our variable. Well, this box is called I. And so we have a couple of different inputs that we can put in here. We can put in a starting number. So that starting number is going to be what I has from the beginning. And from the beginning, we're going to say it has, I don't know, 0. Now this 2 is the last value. So this means that this is going to count from 0 to 10. So the last value is going to be, we're going to, let's say 5. And this by is how much it counts by each time. So you could have it count by 2s. You could have it go 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So you could go like this, by 2, and then create a box. Oh, we have a box here already. And we can move this I. So if we scroll down here, right below the green ones, we have a blue thing called data. And so whenever you make a variable, that variable will show up here in the data. So you can drag that instead of typing a number. So if we step through this, we can see that the first time around, it moves 0. Then the next time it moves 2. Next time it moves 4. Then 6. Then 8. Then 10. And that's our loop. Oh, why is it? Oh, that's why. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have the basic elements of our coding. Good. So now we can actually start to make our snowflake. So just to show you guys what the snowflake is going to look like, the thing with coding is that it's really easy to change around a few numbers, right? So if you change around a few numbers, your snowflake can look really different. So this makes sure that everybody's snowflake can be different if they wanted to. So I'll show you guys this one. This one I made for East Brunswick. So snowflake looks like this, and our snowflake ended up looking like this. So we're going to make something similar to this. Okay. But if you change around a few values, it won't look exactly the same, which is good for snowflakes. Snowflakes are all unique, right? No two snowflakes are the same. Okay. Yes, it is the perfect day to make snowflakes. Okay. Okay, so now is the part where I would start following along. So it might be a cool idea to have it be split screen. So if you're on a computer, you can do this. You can have Zoom on one window and your Zoom on one window and your Tinkercad on the other window. And what that can do is it doesn't show up like that on your screen. Yeah, nice. Stop share. Share screens. Great. Yeah, I know. If you're on tablet, it can be kind of difficult. Yeah, okay. So you can see that I have this here, and you guys can't see the zoom window because for some reason Zoom hides its own window. So you can see that I have my Tinkercad open here, and then I have my Zoom open on the right side of the screen. See, like my mouse disappears because it's on the Zoom window. Anyway, so if you're on a computer and you can do that, that might be a good idea to do. Yeah, I know. If you're on tablet, it's a little bit difficult. Okay, share screen. Okay, great. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to create the center of our snowflake. So what we're going to do is we are going to scroll down here, and we are going to drag over a create new object. And what this does is it's almost like a variable. Remember when we had that box called apples and it held a number inside of it? Well, instead of a number, this is going to create a whole object. So it'll be kind of like, it'll basically create a group of all these blocks. So that way we won't have to repeatedly keep making those new blocks. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to add a yellow star. So if we scroll down all the way on the bottom, there is this yellow star, and we are going to drag that over. And since I want everything on the snowflake to be white for me, so you can have it different, I'm going to click where it's yellow and I'm going to make it white. But you don't have to if you don't want to, that's fine. Okay, now we are going to set the radius to be 6. And now is the first time that we have to create a variable. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a variable called ray number. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to rename the variable. Then a little pop-up pops up for me. So center. Oh, never mind, my bad. It's not center. We're going to call it ray number. So you can see, if I just open up the one I had made a while ago, that this snowflake has 6 arms, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I have a variable here that says ray number. So if I make that, let's say 4, then this snowflake is only going to have 4 arms. So this is how a variable can help, because it will be able to easily change around your thing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a variable called ray number, and we're going to set it to however many arms you want in your snowflake. So I'm going to say 6. And then I'm going to come down here, and where it says ray number, I'm going to drag that onto where it says sides. Okay, and one thing I forgot is that this object should not be called object 0. One good thing in programming is to always name your variables to something that will make sense. Because if we come back to this code like 6 months later, and we'll be like, oh, what does object 0 do, right? We don't know. So that's why it's good to always name variables to something that makes sense. So we're going to rename this variable to center. Now if we play it, I get a star with 6 sides, like this. If I wanted it to have 4, I could go like this, and it would be a star with 4 sides. Okay, give you guys a minute. Can I get a thumbs up on Zoom when you guys are good?
Can you tell the steps again?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to find this purple block that says
It doesn't
create new
work.
object.
The
We're going to drag that
doesn't
over.
work.
And
Like I changed the ray.
there's this drop down that says,
I changed the ray number for the star, but then it keeps on going on to 5, like the
it keeps on
regular.
going to 5. Oh, interesting. Okay, so you're going to click where the number is. You're going to type in whatever number you want, and then just click out. It should be fine.
It's still the star is 5.
Oh, you know what you might want to do? You might want to click this button over here. That's like the restart button, and that'll restart your model, and then click play again. That should help.
It still does that same thing.
Okay, let's
Me
see what
too. I put mine on 8 and it's still 5. Yeah, I
Okay.
did 8 too.
Okay, Serena, do you want to share your screen first, and then we'll look at.
1 second.
Yep.
How do I do this?
Nice.
It's really glitchy.
Okay. Who else said they had trouble? Maybe they can say. Okay, yeah, Emma, do you want to share your screen and I can see what's going on? Then maybe Serena's issue will be solved too. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Oh, I see the issue. Okay, so what you guys have to make sure is that code runs from top to bottom, right? So if you think of your computer, right? Yeah, so your computer is going to look at the first line, which says add a star and sides of ray number, but it doesn't know what ray number is yet, right? So what you want to make sure is that that box is on top. Yeah, you don't want to, you can just leave it separate. It doesn't have to be connected. So what I would do is I would, it should work now. But since other things in this program are also going to have to look at what the ray number is, I would keep that ray number outside. So
Oh, it worked.
it works now? Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Perfect. Great. Try that. That should work.
And does the radius and inner radius matter?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about changing that. Just the radius. Yeah, you're good. Okay. Yes. Nice. It's a good question. Okay, so I'm just going to catch it. Patrick, you have the same problem? Did you move the variable block up top here so that it's separate from everything else?
Yeah, it's separate.
And is it on top, like above it? Okay, do you want to share screen maybe, if it's not working? Okay, right, so what you want to do is go down. Okay, so if you see on the left screen, on the left side, there is a blue thing that says ray number, left and to the bottom, right? So you're going to drag that into where it says 5 on your sides. Yep, so it snaps. Okay, so you're going to, okay, keep moving your mouse to the right. To the right, the other way. Other way. Okay, too far, too far. A little bit. Keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, stop. Bring it up a little bit. Keep going, keep going. There, let go. Okay, now try it. It should like snap in. Yeah. There we go. Now you have it 6. Okay. Is everyone else good? Is anybody else having trouble? Okay, I'm going to take that as a no. Great, okay. Yes. Okay, so we have our center object. Now what we're going to make is what's called the chevron. And the chevron is this like diamond shape almost that has little squares cut out of the side of it. So it's a really nice pretty looking shape that's common in snowflakes. So we're going to be making that shape. So what we're going to do is we are going to do create new object again. And this time, instead of center, we are going to rename this to chevron. Spelled like that. It's an interesting spell. Okay, we have chevron. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to add a box. And that box is going to be white. And we're going to set the width to 12, the length to 12. Now, the thing is, we want everything oh, hold on. Okay. We want everything to be flat, right? We don't want that some parts are sticking up higher and some parts a little bit lower, right? We want everything to be flat. So an easy way to do that is to create another variable. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down here to the green one where it says create new variable, and we're going to stick it right underneath the other create variable that we had. And we are going to call this variable height. Not height. And again, this is up to you, so you can change it however you want. I'm going to make this.
Where do I put it? Because like I put the array number beneath the add the star. Where do I put the height variable?
Okay, so you have to make sure that all of the variables are on top of everything else. So the order should be the variables, and then center, and then chevron. So it should look like this.
I put the array number variable like beneath the star one.
Okay, I would move it on top, because if you move it down below, then it's not going to make the array number correct. So make sure that your array number is on top of your star, and so is your height.
And then where do I put the height?
So you're going to take the height variable and you're going to stick it right underneath the array number. So remember how like the puzzle pieces snap together? Well, you're going to take the height puzzle piece and you're going to snap it underneath the create variable one.
Yeah, and then both of them are going to be under the star?
No, it's going to be on top of the star.
Yeah.
Like this. Okay. So now that we have this height variable, I'm going to set it to 3, but you guys can set it if you guys want yours a little bit thicker, that's fine too. Now, something I did forget to mention is on your star, which is like the center, the H means height. So we're also need to set the height for that too. So we're going to put the height in there. We're also going to set the height for this new cube that we made. Height like this. Okay, so far we have this. Okay. Now underneath that, we need to rotate this cube so that it becomes like a diamond shape. So we're going to use this purple rotate block like we did before, and we're going to rotate it around axis Z. So there's a drop-down menu here where it says like axis X, axis Y, axis Z. So we're going to click axis Z. And where it says 90, we're going to type in 45. Now if we run this, should create a star. Oh, my bad. Okay. Edge steps is not height. Height is height. Okay, so it should look like this. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to hold our mouse right above where it says the word add.
Mine's look different.
Oh. Sure. Do you want to show me what's going on?
It looks like this.
Yeah, you made the same mistake I did. I'm sorry. Okay, so on your cube, where it says where you dragged in the height, do you see where it says blue? The blue. Yeah, I put that in the wrong place. My bad. You're going to drag it over right next to the H.
Here?
No. The one to the right of it. Okay, move to the right, to the right, to the right. Yeah, okay, too far. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Stop, right there. No. Yes, right there. Okay, now try. That should work.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to hold our mouse right above where it says add, and we are going to right click and click duplicate. And now we get this new block on our hands, and we are going to drop that right underneath here. Okay, and the last thing we're going to do is we are going to move this last block that we made. So we are going to drag over the move, and into X, we're going to type in 3. Okay, and the last one we have is just this purple create group button. So if we play this, it should look like this. Okay, does anybody's not look like this? Good, Patrick got a thumbs up, nice. Okay, is anybody having trouble? Anybody's not look like this? I'll wait a couple of minutes and let you guys catch up. Oh, do I see a thumbs up? Okay. Okay, great. So we have our chevron shape now. Now, we're getting there. Now what we have to do is we have to make the ray shape. So we see there are 6, in this example we have 4 ray shapes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So each ray is like an arm. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new object. And this one is going to be called ray. Okay. We are going to create, we're going to drag in a box. And we're going to create a new variable. So we have this variable called length, and it determines how long each ray is going to be. So let's say I want this one to be have much longer arms. Then it's going to look like this.
Again?
Yeah, that's fine. So we are creating a new variable called length. So it's going to determine how long each ray on your snowflake is. So for example, this one is only 20, but this one can be 100, and it's going to have much longer arms for a snowflake. So what we're going to do is we are going to scroll down here to create new variable. and we're going to rename it to length. And I'm going to make it 35. But again, you can change it if you want yours to be longer or shorter. So we have the length variable.
Huh?
So we have a new variable called length, and it's going to control how long the arms are on your snowflake. So you can set it to whatever you want, but I'm going to set mine to 35.
Length.
See, create new variable, length, 35. Okay, so once we've created that variable, we are going to create this new object called ray, and we are going to add a cube to it, and the width of this cube is going to be the variable length.
Okay.
Okay, and the L value on this is going to be 2, and the H is going to be height like everything else. So it should look like this. Should look like this. There's like a little stick coming out. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to do some math. So we have a math block here, and it's this green block that says 0 plus 0. That's the default, right? So we're going to drag that over. Just drag it into empty space somewhere. We'll put it in somewhere later. What we're going to do is we are going to drag over the length variable, put that in the first slot. Then from this drop-down menu, we have divide, which is like this slash. And in the second one, we're going to type in 2. So it's going to say length divided by 2.
For some reason, the stick is really short.
So make sure that your W is your length, like this, right? Your L is 2, and your H is height.
Can I
And it
see
should look like
the
that.
variables you made again?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so make sure that your length is somewhere close to 35.
But it still doesn't work. I have a 35. And I have everything
Sorry?
on the bottom. Can I share my screen?
Yeah. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, go ahead. And then Aaron, you can share your screen because you said something about you had an issue too.
I have it right here.
Whoa.
And it's really small.
Okay. Huh.
And it's the wrong way, I think.
Yes. Can you go back up to where your variables are? Okay, let me try something. Oh, I think I know why. Yes, I do know why. Okay, great. Do you see on the left side of your screen a little bit, you have a block that's just floating out there that says set length to 0? create variable length 0. Yes, that one. That's being run, and it's making it, yes. Careful. Yeah, that just added it. Yep, you had it. Yes. Okay, now try it. Now it should work. Basically, what you were doing is you were setting it to 35, and then you were setting it to 0. There we go.
Can I make this thing smaller? The whole structure smaller?
Yeah. We'll, this is just a first step. We'll get to making it look better in a minute. But if you wanted to make it longer, you could change the length variable. Okay, Aaron, did you fix your issue, or did you want to share your screen? Okay, let's see how you made your star. Maybe there's an issue with how you made your star. Go up. Size is array number, right? Oh, that would explain why. Your star, the radius should be 6. Yes, now try that. Yeah, that looks better. I still don't know why it just shows like a border. It should show the whole thing. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh well. Yeah, that's better though. That's looking more normal. Okay. Do you want to? Yeah. Okay, great. Was anybody else having trouble? Are we good? Okay, great. So, oh, that's not mine. Okay. So we have this, right? Okay. Now, this is the first time that we're actually going to use a, oh, I forgot about this, right? Okay. Now we have this math, right? We have length divided by 2 that we made here. So what we're going to do is we are going to bring over the move command, and zooming in can help with this. So if you press the plus minus buttons here, you can zoom in and out, and that would help a little bit. Now, we are going to drag this length divided by 2 into the X, and then drag that whole move block under the red. If we play this, it should look like this. Does it look like this for everybody? Tinkercad can kind of be a little bit of a pain when it comes to dragging stuff around and having it snap in. So it may take a couple of tries to get it right. Good, nice. Great. Anybody else having trouble? Okay. So now this is the first time that we're actually going to use a loop. So what we're going to do is we are going to scroll down here, and we're going to use this repeat with loop. And we are going to put in 3 times. We're going to repeat this whole thing 3 times. So the first thing that goes inside the loop is adding a box. And in that box is going to be white. And it is going to be, the width is going to be 6, the length is going to be 6, and the height is going to be height like everything else. So with the height variable. Then we're going to make this into a diamond shape too by rotating it around 45 degrees. So we're going to drag over the rotate block, and where it says axis X, we're going to click axis Z and type in 45 degrees. we are also going to create a new variable now. Then this variable is going to be called distance. So I know we have a lot of variables, but this is the last one, so we're all good. Create a variable, and it's going to be called distance. And we're going to set it to 10. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring over a move command, and in the X, we're going to...
What was the variable again?
It was called distance, and it has 10 in it, like this.
Distance and 10.
Yes. Okay. Now, in the move command, we're going to drop distance in X, like this. And then the last one we have is to change distance by 11. So remember we did change by distance is 10. The distance starts at, no, the distance starts at 10. Sure. Okay. And the last one we have in this loop is going to be change distance by 11. Now, if we play this, it will look something like this. Should look something like that. Does everybody's look like this?
I got it.
No, I only have like one little one.
Okay, so did you put 3 times here
I got it.
in the loop?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, if it doesn't look like this, then it's going to look different. So if, just because it looks different doesn't mean it's bad. It's just that it's not going to look like this. So yours looks different. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Do you want to share your screen? Right. That looks good. That looks good. Oh, because you're changing item by 11. You need to change distance by 11. So see where it says no, you can't do that. It's a drop-down menu. So like you click where it says item. Where's your mouse? Where, so you see where it says change item by 11, the last one? Yeah, you're going to click that and make that distance. Click distance. Yes, now try it. Okay, great. Can you go back up to where your star is? I think there's an issue with your star. Okay, click where it says white. Sorry, right, yeah. And click on the white dot. Okay, great. Yeah, you accidentally turned it to whole. Okay, that should work there. Okay. Was anybody else having trouble? Okay, great. Now what we're going to do is we are going to hold our mouse right above where, oh, one second. Okay. We are actually first going to take this set item 2 and bring it down here. And from this drop-down menu, we're going to click distance. So we're going to set distance to 10 again. We want to reset it. And then where it says, we're going to hold our mouse above where it says repeat and right click and click duplicate and drag that under distance. And what this does is it's going to basically, it duplicated this entire piece of code. But instead of 6 this time, we're going to type in 2. So 2 and 2. So we're going to have smaller versions basically. Now if we watch this, it should look kind of like this. So we have the star, we have the chevron, and we have our ray, and we have one diagonal here and a smaller diagonal inside. One diagonal here, smaller diagonal inside. Aaron, is it okay? Uh-oh. That's not good. Okay, well, Tinkercad should have saved your progress anyway, so you should be fine to just log back in. And we'll catch you up if you miss anything. Okay. Now we are almost done, actually. We are going to... One second. Actually, it's interesting. I don't think you'll actually see the small squares. But on your design, it does look good. It's interesting, though. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you see.
Won't show either.
Here, what? Okay, no, the star should show, I think. Right?
Are you gonna move the star later?
One second. Yeah, I think it depends on how you make the rest of your snowflake, because in this example, you can kind of see the star here. In this example, no, I don't. Yeah, I think you actually can, because what the star does is it like makes like almost a round edge here. That's a good question though.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll look like this in the end. So I think you are right that the small squares don't show. But you do see the star, because the star has like these things that kind of round off the edges, so it's not just a bunch of sticks that come together. Yeah, okay. But you're right, the small squares I don't think show. But it looks good on the design. Okay, so we are almost done actually. What we are going to do is we are going to add a couple of chevrons. So this is why we did the whole create object block. So we are going to create add copy of object is what we're going to do. So right under where it says create new object, we're going to put in add copy of object. And in that blank space, we're going to put in chevron. And we're going to do a tiny little bit more math. We are going to bring over another math block. And we are going to make this minus and 4. And we're going to make this length minus 4. So what this will make sure is that the chevron is all the way at the end of our snowflake. So we're going to do move and put it in X. So it'll look like this. So we now have a chevron all the way at the end. Okay. we have chevron at the end. Now we're going to add another chevron that's kind of in the middle. So what we're going to do is we are going to add copy of object and chevron. And now we're going to do a little bit more difficult math. So I will go over this next step a couple of times. We are going to bring over a math block. This math block is going to be +3. So we'll leave that to the side for now. We're going to bring over another math block, actually. And it is going to be length divided by 2. I'm going to drag over the length. So it's going to be length divided by 2, like this. Now we're going to drag this length divided by 2 math piece and drag this over to where it says 0. So in total, we have a length divided by 2 and then +3. This whole math block is separate. Now we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. We're going to bring over move and put it into X. And it'll look like this. Let me flip over. Never mind.
It doesn't let me put the code again.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll go over the math step once again. That is slightly confusing. Okay. So we have a math here, and we are going to go +3. Then we're going to drag over another math, and it's going to be length divided by 2. Length divided by 2. And that whole thing, we're going to drop into where it says 0. And then this whole thing, what is it doing? This whole thing, we're going to drag into the move command. So we have a move command here. And we're going to drag that whole thing into the X command.
Like, it looks kind of different.
Yeah, let's see what it looks like. I think I have an idea of what the issue is, but do you want to share?
See, shouldn't this piece here be here?
Well, I know what you did. You see where it says length +2? Make that divide 2. Okay, now try it. Otherwise, I think you did it right. Yeah, I think that's about, yep, that's how mine looks. Okay. Okay, is anybody else having trouble?
Does it have to look like that?
Oh, no, you can change it however you want. Okay, let's do Patrick first, and then Matthias has an issue.
The length divided by 2.
Yeah, do you want to share a screen and I can kind of walk you through it? It's just easier if I walk you through it, because it's...
I want to know where I put this.
Okay, stop moving your mouse for a second. Okay, good. So you're going to add in a move command underneath the, yeah, I know, sorry. Okay. Underneath the add copy, right, perfect. And you're going to, oh, careful. Nice. Okay, yeah, that's how it should be. Okay, Matthias, do you want to share your screen?
Can I get something real quick?
Yeah. Matthias, sure, yeah. Okay, let's do this. So we have length divided by 2, perfect. Okay, now, okay. Yeah, it's going to play chase with you. Okay, now what you want to do is start dragging around Careful. Okay, now start dragging our length divided by 2, and I'll let you know when to drop it in. Okay, don't let go of it until I tell you. Okay, move to the right a little bit. Keep going to the right. Keep going. Keep going. A little bit down. A little bit down. A little bit down. Okay, and let go. Perfect. Okay, now drag that whole thing to X, to the right, to the right, to the right, and let go. That should work. Okay, there we go. Now you drop that move command underneath there, and make sure you put add copy of object Chevron. No, all the way down. No, you're good. You're good. Down. So do you see in your code where it says add copy of object and then it's like blank in your code? To the right. Yeah. No. Okay. So you don't need to drag over a new add copy. Just do you see where it says where there's a blank? So if you scroll down a little bit. Okay. All right. Do you see there's a blue block that says Chevron? Yes. So drag that into where there are blanks. Okay. Yeah. You don't need that last one on the bottom, but yeah, do the other two. And you don't need an add copy of object on the bottom either. Okay, that should work. Okay, Erin, snowflake legs, come to the same place. Okay, so far we've just made one leg. We are going to make more in a minute. Is that what you were asking, or were you asking something else?
Can I share my screen?
Yep, go ahead. Oh, hey, you got it working. Nice. Nice. Okay. So we have a chevron, we have our arms, we have our squares. Oh, no. Yeah, you're good. Nice. Okay, right. Okay, yeah. So there's some small stuff that's off about that. It still looks good. I'm not going to say that it's not. There's some small stuff. Okay. First thing, here, I'll kind of walk you through it. Okay. Sure. Okay. So most of us got our math part kind of done, and that was one of the hard parts. We're just going to do a couple things. We're going to put in a create group command, and we're going to delete this original chevron that's in the middle here. We don't want that there. So we're going to put delete object, and then in this blank, we're going to put in chevron. I realized I was going fast, so I will do this again. So on the bottom of this purple tab, we have this one that says create group. So we're going to drag that in underneath our last move command. And finally, we want to get rid of this original chevron that was made here in the center. And it was made here all the way back here when we first actually made the chevron. So we want to get rid of that. So we are going to bring over this delete object command. And then in this blank space, we are going to bring over this blue chevron. Now if we play it, it got rid of the chevron that was in the middle. So now it looks like this. This is how a snowflake arm looks. Great. So this is one arm of our snowflake. Now we just have to make the rest of them. Almost done. So what we're going to do
If we leave the chevron in the middle, When you print it out, will it look like that?
If you leave it, yeah, I mean, if you want to leave it in there, you can. Sure, it'll look like this, yeah. Okay, so we got rid of the chevron, but if you want to keep it, you can absolutely keep it.
Something's kind of weird.
Okay, let's do something. Matthias asked first, so yeah, go ahead. You can share, and then I will help you. 1 second. Okay, go ahead. What's the issue? Okay. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that looks good. Perfect. The only one thing I would do is your star's height needs to be the same height as everything else. I don't think you set your height of your star all the way in the beginning. Yeah, your H is 10. Your H just needs to be height, like all the other shapes. Yeah. Okay. Yep, nice. Okay, who said that? Serena, did you say you had an issue?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not sure if I can share my screen or not, but I'll try.
Wait, yeah, I can see your screen.
Wait.
Oh, it's all gray. I know why. Okay. Great. Okay. So scroll. Okay, here. I'll just show you what to do.
It's too glitchy.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so when you click create group, this last create group thing, you accidentally clicked this gray button here. So if you play it, it'll look like that. So if you click the rainbow button here, it should be fine now.
Okay.
Okay, great. Now we're almost done. We just have to actually make the rest of our arms. Now the good thing is, because we had this create new object, we don't have to actually do this whole thing again. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one final create new object, and we are going to call this pattern. And we are going to use a count with loop, like we went over in the very beginning of class. Yeah. And we are going to count from 0 to ray number by 1. So what we're going to do is this is going to count for every ray. So the first thing we need to do is add a copy of the object ray. Okay. Now we have some math here again that's going to help make sure that it rotates the right number of degrees. So what we're going to do is bring over a math block. We are going to set this first math block to divide. Okay, so it's 0 divided by 0. But instead of 0, we're going to put in ray number for the second parameter. So it's going to look like this. It's going to be 0 divided by ray number. But instead of 0, we're going to type in 360. So this math block is going to look 360 divided by ray number. Okay. Now we have one other math block. This math block is going to be times. So instead of plus, it's going to be times, like this. The first one, the first 0 here, we're going to drag in the I. So if there's a variable here called I, and we're going to drag that in. And in this times, we're going to drag over the 360 divided by rate number. Now this whole thing, we're going to drag in to the degrees. And the last thing we do is we have to set a pivot for this one. So what we're going to do is, if we look here under like the green tab, there's one that just says XYZ, like this. We're going to put that into the pivot spot. And that's pretty much our snowflake done. Whoops. What did I do? Oh, my bad. Okay, instead of axis Z, this should be axis, sorry, instead of axis X, this should be axis Z. That looks pretty, actually. That looks nice. Okay. Okay. So your snowflake should end up looking something like this. Okay. Who has issues? Patrick, yes. Do you have an issue? You have, yours not working right?
Is it fine if there's like those holes, like if it looks like this?
Okay, so oh, you're looking at the bottom of it. Hold up, look at the top of it. There you go. You're good. Okay. Was anybody else having trouble? Because this is pretty much our snowflake done, I think. Yes, it is.
We're gonna rotate around axis Z by something. How do I put it in? Like, what do I do? How do I make that?
Yes. Okay, sure. Let's do that math thing again. Okay. So what you're going to do first is bring over a math. Okay. And you're going to set it to divide mode like this. Okay, Matthias, let me do this, and then I will help you. Yeah. Okay. So we have, okay, and in the meantime, I would check that you did this math thing correctly, because if you didn't do it, then there's a good chance it's going to look off. So I think you should follow along with this. Okay. So in the first spot, we're going to type in 360. Then in the second spot, we are going to drag over the rain number variable. Like this. So it should look something like this. Now we're going to drag over another math block. And this one is going to be times. So there's a little star, like the asterisk. You're going to click that, and it's going to be times. In the first spot of this times, you're going to drag in the I. And in the second spot, you're going to drag in your big thing that you made earlier, the 360 divided by rate number. Okay, and that whole thing gets dragged into the rotate around command. So it's like this. So rate number goes in here. This whole thing goes in there. Okay, does that help? Somebody asked.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Stop sharing. Okay, Matthias, do you want to share your screen?
We're about done for the day, right?
Okay. Sorry, Emma, what did you say?
We're about done for the day, right?
Yeah, we're almost done. We just have to print it. Okay. Okay, I know the issue. Do you want to pause the thing? Matthias, do you want to pause it? I can see what the issue is. Oh, okay. So the issue is that your thing counts with J but you dragged in I. So I should have mentioned this. Whatever your count with thing over here is, that is the variable that you need to put in. Because for most people, it's I. So you put in I, but if your thing says count with J, then you want to drag in J. Sure. Okay. Is anybody else having trouble? I'll give you guys a couple of minutes. You guys can kind of mess around with the settings, and those settings would be in your variables. So, for example, if you wanted to have a 5-sided snowflake, you could do that. If you want your snowflake to be a little bit longer, you can do that. So, if you want to set your height to be something thicker, you can do that. So, I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to play around with the settings, make your own unique snowflake from this. And then I'll show you guys how to share it, how to send it. And let me know if you have any issues or questions. Yeah, so Aaron, I will go over that in just a couple of minutes. It's export, but I'll go over that in a couple of minutes, how to send it to the library.
I'm gonna be leaving now.
Oh, okay. Do you remember how to send your file from last time? Yeah, okay. Just make sure you change your name so that, yeah. Okay, great. Bye. Thank you for coming. Okay. If anything, I'll just go over it right now if you guys want. Okay. So you guys can mess around with the settings later and send it later. The first thing you want to do is up here, Tinkercad gives you a silly name, so like mine is Swanky Rodis. So you're going to click there, and you're going to just type in your name. Mine is Aditya. Yes. And then you're going to click export.
How'd you make it so thin? Mine is like literally so fat.
The snowflake.
Yeah.
What you want to do is, I messed with the settings. Something that might help is changing your length. So the default was 35. I made it 55. So like originally the snowflake looked like this. So I just made it 55 instead of 35. And that did it. So once you've changed your name, you're going to click on the export button and click .stl. And it should download. And you're going to send it to the email ID that I think Jessica just put in the chat. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Before you click export, make sure you put the date too. So it's going to be your name dash the date. Today is the 17th. So it's going to be 12-17. So make sure your files look like this. Name dash date. Then you're going to click export and click .stl. Okay, is everybody good? And then once you've downloaded it, you're just going to send an email and have it attached to the email. And you're going to send that email to the email ID that Jessica put in the chat.
How do we export it again?
You're going to click on the export button up here on the top right corner. Then you're going to click .stl. And it should automatically download. So it's different on every computer. Some computers it'll ask you where you want to save it. And if you're having trouble with actually downloading it, I would ask your parents. But on Tinkercad's side, it's just export and then .stl. So export and then .stl. Okay, so that is about it for this class. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask.
And we'll start printing your, I will check to see if I sent it to you, if you sent it to me, Patrick. Patrick, where'd you send it? To youth services or me? We'll start printing some things on Monday, and I'll start notifying you guys as to when you can pick it up. I know some people wanted them for Christmas or something. Hopefully we can get some of that done. Just depends on the schedule and how long everything takes. I will double check that in a minute, Patrick. Yeah. Everybody should say thank you to Aditya for teaching us all of this. You know, I don't know how to do this, so I'm so glad that he was able to come and do this for us. Do we want him to come back?
Yes.
And teach some more Tinkercad things? Yeah, what can you tell me what you guys liked doing the best? Which one you liked the best? Coding, was coding fun today?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I feel like
Nice.
Coding is really awesome. I feel like we could do a lot more with that, right, Aditya?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe one day we can do this in the library while watching our 3D printer print things.
That would be cool. Yeah,
The
Patrick,
coding
it's
easier,
different.
huh?
Yeah. It's different. That's why I tried in my different workshops to kind of do the two different things that Tinkercad is really good at with 3D modeling, which was the coding and the actual modeling. Yeah.
Okay, and I've gotten 3 print jobs, including yours, Patrick. So yes, thank you. Awesome, cool guys. All right, well, I'll be sending emails next week once print jobs are ready. And otherwise, happy holidays if I don't talk to you before then.
You too. Thank you.
All right, thanks guys. Thanks so much, Aditya.
Thank you guys for coming.
All right,
Bye.
have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.